And now, Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell Blanken. Tyler, All In is over. Evolution happens today as we record this. Saturday night's main event occurred. Like so much wrestling, we had a Great American Bash this week, and I know you, too, have a huge week coming up as you make your triumphant return to the classroom. Not quite yet, but we're back at school tomorrow. You are anyway. I got to know, is this your Hangman redemption arc, and do you come out to Ghost Town Triumph tomorrow on your way?
I'll tell you what, Brad, I will add Ghost Town Triumph to the playlist in honor of paying homage to our new AEW World Champion. Yeah, that's a must. Triumphant is a very kind word to use. I appreciate that intro. Yeah, man, it's already mid-July. It feels like it was just July 1st the other day.
Yes.
And here we are. I do start my training. Thank you again for your love and support there. Yeah, man, and wrestling-wise, we have so much to talk about. You laid out the events, particularly AEW All In, that we're going to get into, of course. I have a WWE question for you. In the world of pop culture, you saw Superman. I know you have thoughts on that.
Yes, I do.
I'm eager to hear how long Superman was, because I devoted 3 hours of my life, that's right, 3, to watch the season 10 premiere of Bachelor in Paradise. It is, in fact, 3 hours of my life that I will not get back. But I do it for our audience, Brad. You know this. So I have some notes for you there, and I'm sure we'll get into some other topics. So yeah, feeling very excited, very grateful, very blessed, and of course, I'm thrilled to see you for this new episode. How you been?
I've been good. I've been working. I've been in the dirt, we'll call it, in the grime, in the filth, in the mud.
In the mud, out the mud.
In the mud for sure.
Okay.
It's been a lot of work trying to get the auditorium up and running and moving around and cleaning, and I feel really good about where we are. I could see the finish line. I'm just worried that the finish line is just after the start of the school year, and I'm a little scared about that. But we'll get it done. I have a lot of good feelings toward it, and it needs to happen. So I'm feeling pretty good today. There is an event at the school tomorrow. I got to be there because the people running at Marina PD is putting on a presentation, and I have to be there before they are. And he said, I'm going to be there tomorrow at 6:30. The event doesn't start till 7:30, but he wants to kind of get the lay of the land and get things ready. And I was like, well, crap. So at least I'll be up there before the blazing hot sun.
Because I hit you up to give folks a behind the scenes look at the podcast. Mm-hmm. When we have a big Sunday night wrestling event, you and I always not debate, but we just try to figure out, okay, does it make more sense to record beforehand for the sake of our health and our respective families, or do we record post these events? Mm-hmm. I think at this stage of both of our lives, and particularly given our Mondays coming up, when this episode drops, we decided, I think you even made the exact decision, which I fully supported, of no, let's run our usual recording, Matinee Jones, kind of talk about what we hope happens at Evolution, but then go from there. Because you shared, as you just did now, you shared with me via text, you're going to be up and ready to go before I am. I was like, yo, Brad, I got a busy Monday. I got to get out the district at 7:30 for the continental breakfast and shake hands and kiss baby.
Yeah, I was already planning on changing it.
Yeah,
totally. Because when you said that, I was like, hey, I didn't even think about you starting.
And you said, well, listen. I will be at the school at 6 a.m. I said, oh wow, okay, so you are a dedicated education professional. This is true.
I'm a dedicated volunteer, is what this is. I am a volunteer. I'm not getting paid for anything, but it's going to be. It's one of those things where it's like, audience, please let us know. Do you do something for free that would normally be your job if it makes your future job easier? Like that's kind of where I am, like going into the auditorium, cleaning up, moving around, organizing. Do it now so that during the year, I don't have to do it. We just maintain at that point rather than like repair and move and fix and all that stuff.
And you've been in the game long enough to have that foresight of, I know if I sacrifice this Monday morning during summer, that's going to pay dividends for later in the year. Yeah,
well, because I came in and I went backstage and I had to text my supervisor. I was like, there is a this is probably a little bit too much inside baseball here, but there was a 50-foot XLR cable plugged into the wall port for the XLR. The projector screen was down but wasn't on, and I was just like, I don't really know what happened here. But that thing on the wall it's plugged into isn't plugged into anything and hasn't been for probably 20 years. And the projector screen shouldn't be down. If it's down, the projector should be on. What occurred in this place in the last couple of weeks what just happened here? So I was already like, all right, people are already making a mess of this. You shouldn't be touching anything back here if you don't know what it goes to. And all I could think is, don't get mad. They don't have a guide back here. Nobody's been trained on how to use the space. So I want to run people through a training so it's more than just me, in case, what if there's an event and it's a theater event? Sometimes I got to go do stuff. Sometimes I got to go and, bring Freya to dance or something like that, because she's going to be taking 2 dance classes this year instead of 1.
Hey,
so
go Freya.
Yeah, she's really excited about it.
We're talking showbiz.
Showbiz, yes, sir. She'll be doing. She loves her some ballet, but she's like, I see people doing hip hop stuff, and I want to go do hip hop. So she wants to go do the hip hop thing. So that's nice.
Let's go.
I've been trying to push her. I've been secretly playing stuff around the house every once in a while and just making sure she can hear it. Unfortunately, we left. I don't remember what we left, but there was. Oh no, we were watching Twisters. I got her to watch Twisters.
That's right. I remember.
People dumped on that movie way too much, by the way. Listen, man. She was loving the country music.
Okay. It's Freya's Miranda roots.
I got feelings about this. Now, in fairness, it was like rock country and not twangy crap.
Country.
I don't need that in my life at all. It needs to go all the way to the other end for me. Like, once you hit bluegrass and folk, I'm good. But when you live between like the rock country and that, and you get into like the
Post Malone country,
I could take that, I guess. I'm just thinking, like, if they were in the news singing either about t-shirts and trucks and America, I'm probably not listening to it. So
I think Morgan Wallen's annual State Farm Stadium concert is maybe this month. Gross.
Yeah, that's the one. That's exactly the one I was thinking. Well, anyway, I won't be going to watch that, but I did go to watch Superman. And Tyler, boy, do we have to talk about it. So let's just get into it. Play the music. It's time for GI at the movies.
And now it's time for GI at the movies.
Okay, listen, to answer your question, 2 hours and 9 minutes. I looked it up afterward because I want to say 9 minutes was just credits and 2 post-credit scenes. One brief one, very brief. It was just a nice little moment. And then one post-credit scene it's funny. This movie, I had really high expectations for it, but I knew going into it that I trusted James Gunn at this point. He got me to care about a tree. So if you can get me to care, have you seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, Tyler?
I have. Yeah,
okay,
you'd be
good.
Proud of me. I've actually seen a couple of them in theaters.
Okay, good. Okay, because the first one is
I'm out here.
Great. That first one is so good.
I've always enjoyed them.
The "We Are Groot" moment at the end had our whole auditorium with wet faces and now.
I'm gonna impress you. Check this out. This is spur of the moment Jones. Yondu, that's the dude. The dude who. Spoiler alert from years ago. He dies in one of the films.
Yes.
But no, that movie really.
Michael Rooker, Galaxy 2. Yeah,
it hit me in my feels. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's so good.
I got you.
Yeah. So James Gunn, and even the Suicide Squad, I really liked for how weird it was.
It was different.
Not the first one, not the Will Smith one, the other one that because Suicide Squad was the one with Will Smith. The Suicide Squad is the one with Idris Elba. So
right.
And that one, and John Cena as Peacemaker. So that one is great. It's on Max if you have it. Great comic book movie. Absolutely nuts. That movie is so ridiculous because you go into it thinking, oh, this could be really like, oh, okay, let's see what happens. And then just immediate death. Like 90% of the cast is wiped out in the first 10 minutes and not in a little way. And Superman, I knew he loved this character. He's now in DC and out of Marvel. Tyler, the teaser got me months ago, like a year ago, whatever it was, where we got Crypto for the first time, where he threw out the whistle and you just see this puff of snow and you're like, what the heck is that thing? And then you realize it's the dog. Oh my God, he had me right away.
I heard about that. My dad brought that up to me actually this weekend. He mentioned, hey, you heard Crypto's in it. I was like, wait, who? And he was even,
dude,
he knows about this.
As a dog lover.
Yes.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. And there's such good payoffs. If you see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, similar situation in there. I'm not going to spoil it though, because I don't know that you've seen it yet. But it's that one's worth it too. Like all the Guardians movies are, and the Christmas special on Disney is worth it too. That's great. So anyway, Crypto, incredible. Terrible dog, incredible. Like almost always a terrible dog. He just wants to play. He's awesome. Mr. Terrific kind of steals the show. Now, I'm sure you're not familiar with Mr. Terrific. I'm 100% positive you have no idea what's going on there. He is this like kind of technological genius guy. He made the ship. He's like the lone black superhero in this film, I think. But he has like the T on his face. And he has these kind of floating orbs. I don't remember what they're called, terrific spheres or something. They did an iteration of him in the CW show Arrow, and it was fine. It was good. Good actor. The actor that plays him, and I can't remember his name. I know his last name begins, I think, with a G. He was an X-Men First Class, and they killed him off in the dumbest possible way in that movie. He's like, I can just become any mutant, I take their power and stuff, and they just kill him with a power. It doesn't make any sense. So he kind of gets like a comic book redemption movie here, and he's awesome. The chemistry between Clark and Lois, I can't remember the actor's names, Corn Sweat, and I can't remember her name, driving me crazy all day. And then Lex Luthor, excellent. I thought everything made sense to be there. Nothing felt forced, and they leaned into that it's a comic book. The best parts, Tyler, my favorite part was the opening. This is what's going on. They just had information on the screen, like kind of Star Wars, but it just pops up. There's no scroll, and it's out in the ice sheets, kind of where the trailer picks up. And it's just Superman got sent to Earth. He's been there for a while. He just lost his first fight. And then he crashes down, and it's like where the teaser is, and the trailer starts. And it just starts with like, yeah, he's been here. We're not going to do the origin stories. James Gunn said in an interview, I never need to see baby Kal-El coming to Earth in a spaceship ever again. Same with, I don't need to see the pearls on Martha Wayne out in the street ever again in a movie. Like, we've done that so much that it's just over. I thought Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner was great. Hot Girl scared the crap out of Freya, even though she's a good guy. There's definitely some political commentary, but it's sort of one of the lines is it's the one thing that I think Democrats or Republicans or liberals and conservatives can agree with is blank, and I want to say what that is. It kind of paralleled Epstein right now, the Epstein files, where I feel like everybody's kind of united, like, yeah, about that. We need to see those files, where everybody is universally in agreement about this, which I think is, it's the first time in a long time where America's united on one thing, where it's like, no, release the files. That kind of gave me that. I left feeling full of hope. I had fun. This wasn't like a soul-sucking movie where it was just crushingly painful the entire time. The characters were great. It was funny. It was, there was a moment I particularly cried at one moment as somebody who is adopted, which is also, obviously a theme in Superman's life, where he crashes to Earth and is adopted by an Earth family. There's a moment in there that really got me, but I can't say anything more lest I spoil it. And I've already said too much because it's been like 20 minutes since I started talking. So Tyler, audience, you got to go. You have to go see this. I am at a stage in my life where I went to the IMAX and went, it's kind of loud. I could do with them turning it down a little, because Freya was covering her ears for any loud part, and even Jess looked at me and was like, "Ooh, that's loud." Like they had that thing cranked up a little bit too much. Like it was first time I've ever had actual pain in my ears during a movie. Like not just like that's annoying. This was like that was a lot. You need to turn this down. I don't even know if it's safe at this point. But if you don't have apparently sensitive ears like I do at 43, please go check this out in an IMAX. I don't know what the 3D is like. I'm sure it's cool. It was filmed for IMAX, so go see it there. Totally worth the time. It's not a long film. Nothing overstays its welcome. There wasn't a moment where I was like, oh, wrap it up. Not one time the entire time. So everything felt on purpose and it was really, really good. I hope they make more of these because this was the kind of the perfect comic book movie. I'm going to say the perfect movie, but it's the perfect comic book movie. It just was watching a comic book. So go check it out.
I'm glad you had a good experience. My mom, I haven't told you this until now. My mom even told me she wants to see this movie. And she by no means is a superhero person, but she's even fully locked in for this. So I'm gonna have to check this out.
Christopher Reeves, man, like I knew that we were in good hands because the first thing that happens in the movie is trumpet. Like before anything happens, we get the original John Williams kind of trumpet fanfare theme
respect to the
before it transitions. And obviously the whole soundtrack is a play on it. It's the John Williams theme. It's just made a little differently, so it feels like Superman, but is its own thing. And there's cameos and there's all kinds of stuff that happen in this, especially toward the end. And I can't tell you what they are, but it's definitely a worthwhile payoff. And I'm excited for the future of the DCU, like for the first time ever, maybe because Superman was great. This is not a spoiler because they had announced this. John Cena in this film in an interview because his Peacemaker is making his way into the DCU. He's staying in the DCU. And it's John Cena playing him. So super excited that we'll get more Cena. I know we're getting another season of Peacemaker and Superman is part of that universe. And I can't wait to see what happens there. Excited for John Cena too. That's really cool.
I was going to say, and transitioning to WWE, John Cena, of course, is still our undisputed WWE champion. So now seems like a fitting time for me to ask you my WWE question of the week, Brad. First and foremost, along with all of the great wrestling we had this weekend, we also saw and heard news of some pretty terrible injuries. First of which being Seth Rollins appearing to suffer a leg or even specifically a knee, if I'm not mistaken, knee injury versus LA Knight at Saturday night's main event in Atlanta. Yeah, very tough. As of this recording, we don't know the full extent, but according to Fightful, kind of the most reputable outlet that we rock with, shout out to Rob Wilkins and company over there, it's by all accounts a legit injury and not for storyline purposes. So really eager to see what now becomes of Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman and the Money in the Bank briefcase, but most of all thinking of Seth Rollins and all those who love and care about him. I'm sure we'll discuss Adam Cole during our AEW portion of today's episode. So that preamble aside, I want to give flowers for the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. I don't know the last time I brought him up on Gimmick Infringement, Brad, but now we must do so. And actually before that, I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm neglecting to remember, Brad, we have two very important words here on Gimmick Infringement.
Yeah, we do.
I think it's time.
Steph Watch.
Yes. Yes, it is time for Steph Watch. This is by far going to be the quickest Steph Watch to date. This is why I almost forgot about it. Please forgive me, La Primera. And she's in the background of my shot.
She is. She's right there.
Again, we are recording before Evolution. She appears to be the odds-on favorite to win the Battle Royal at this event. My only note here is she must win. I need her versus the winner of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky to wrestle each other at SummerSlam. This must happen, Brad. I'll be very disappointed if this does not come true. We will discuss on next week's GI. Steph Watch, she's doing it big. She's the front runner. She has all the momentum. Let's keep riding this rocket ship to the very, very top. Okay, now to Sheamus. We need to give him his flowers, his tenure in wrestling, his in-ring work still to this day, him being seen as a pro's pro, the new Celtic Warrior workout series on YouTube. Well, not new, it's been around for a couple of years, but I'm just tapping into it. He's had Stephanie Vaquero on, he's had Roxanne Perez on just recently, even Obafemi, all my favorites. The current feud with Rusev, the bangers from the past few years with Drew McIntyre and Gunther. Brad, I simply want to know, all that being laid out for you, what are your thoughts on this stage of Sheamus's career? Because I think when he does retire, hopefully not anytime soon, we're going to look back and think, man, how privileged were we to watch this career play out for all the reasons I listed and then some. What are your thoughts on where he's at now? And again, this incredible run that he's had throughout his time in WWE.
Oh man. I can't speak to like his locker room. I want to say leadership. I say that in quotes because, like, I don't know. It was leadership, but it was a different era and you could get away with more things. He has Undertaker level longevity and consistency. What are the worst Sheamus matches? It's probably not him, you know, like every time he goes out there, he performs, he always brings the energy. And I had to look it up what year it was. Man, it was a while ago, pre-pandemic, but in storyline, you got to remember he's cousins with Beaker from the Muppets. So if you can have that kind of scope to be not only one of the most dastardly heels that's ever been in AEW, like Jess, when I started watching wrestling again, and Jess was like, "Oh, I watch wrestling again." It's like, "Oh, just what's that red-haired guy? I hate that guy." Hated Sheamus like from before I met her. So
dang, he's a very good bad guy. Sign of a great wrestler when you can play both parts very well.
Exactly. So
for sure.
But also he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just so good. And I like that. I love his style. Like I feel like if you took him or Drew Seth Rollins, and threw them in another company, New Japan or AEW right now, they'd fit right in, number one, and they'd be able to like run that space really well. Because like imagine Sheamus and Takeshita, like that would be incredible, right? Like that would be so good. And I know he's not exactly a young man. You were just talking about his career and how long he's been wrestling and how many injuries he's overcome and how he's still pretty banged up. But he's done the Celtic Warrior workout series and he's done all of these different things. He's contributed to the business space as much as he has to the business. And he is solely responsible for giving us Cope. There was no return for Edge if he didn't fall off that bike while on Sheamus's show. Where he went, actually, I feel fine. I should go talk to my doctor about this and see what's going on. We wouldn't have Adam Copeland back in the business. We would not have seen Edge's return at the Royal Rumble without Sheamus and Celtic Warrior workouts. So like, I know that's like a preposterous thing, but like he's just been so involved in everything. I think he's going to leave a significant hole in the industry when he leaves. And maybe people will disagree with that because there's so much talent everywhere. But when you need someone to like just dust off a 5-star match, a 4-star match, and in the WWE space, let's hold it under a different category. A 5-star match in WWE is just different than other places because you have to account for the storytelling. On top of that, he's going to give you both. And he could just be like, oh, someone got hurt. Is Sheamus here? You know what I mean? So like, I think that's his legacy. He's just consistent. He's great. He is super committed to the characters. Genuinely seems like a really nice dude. Like everybody seems to dislike him. So if there's anybody out there that's like, oh, I hate that guy, it's probably them.
Something's wrong with them.
Yeah, it's probably them. It's like, oh yeah. The friend group thing, right? Like there's always one friend in the group that's like not really wanted. And if you're like, no, there's not, it's you. Yeah. That's
sure. I had to look it up, Brad. So Sheamus is 47 and some of his recent work. And like you said, I think back to when he debuted, it was WWE ECW.
Yeah.
He was heel. He quickly worked his way up the card. And to think now, 20 years later, this is where he's at. And as fans, as we have more acts. Yeah, exactly. And the bar with Cesaro, the artist known as Cesaro.
Right. Yeah.
He's had all of these different stages. And now fast forward to 2025, when we have access to wrestlers in ways that we only could have dreamt of years and years ago.
Mhm.
To your point, it's cool to see more of his personality on
Yes.
social media. We remember when he was going through tweeting banger after banger after
Yeah,
banger, like
yeah.
really feeling himself up, like, yeah, I am that dude. I could still put on a great match with anyone. Facts. And now, again, as I've recently discovered, this Celtic Warrior workout series, just a way to get to know the person,
Yeah.
off screen, outside of Monday Night Raw. And to your point, he just seems like an awesome dude who's really, really well respected, and is just so versatile and so talented in many ways. So I'm really glad that we're dedicating some time. I don't remember the last time we've spoken about him.
It's been a
here.
while.
I don't know that I've ever asked a Sheamus-centered question,
No.
but I reflected and realized, wait, this dude, when he does hang it up, A, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and B, we're going to look back incredibly fondly on his body of work.
We did bring him up recently because we talked about him feeding Jeff Hardy his pee.
Okay, yeah,
there is that. There is
when you were mentioning of your how about this, your triumphant return to watching wrestling. I thought about that. Wait, yeah, in 2020 it was a fever dream.
That was the first program that I saw.
Yeah, he and Jeff Hardy were feeding over urine.
I started watching the new product because I had like completed Netflix and then ran through the entirety of Raw in like a week. And like just watching all of the Attitude Era, I started getting into the PG era, and I was like, this kind of sucks. And I turned it off, and I just started watching. You were like, you got to watch AEW. You have to. I think you really like it. So I started watching AEW, and then I turned on WWE, and I was like, what is happening here? Jeff Hardy's still wrestling, okay? And he's getting arrested in a park, and it looks like, and then the next week he's in that, what was it called? It was like an Irish bar fight or a pub fight or whatever they called it.
That was only 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that now.
And Jeff Hardy stood up and had the makeup on his face suddenly, and then jumped off the ladder
inside the bar. He did the
inside
swanton
inside.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. All this is probably going to be expunged from their video package when both of these guys get inducted into the Hall of Fame, by the way, which I would not be mad at.
No, it's the correct
expunging.
Yeah.
This was a time though. We were there. We watched this live.
Woof. Yeah, we sure did. It was a much different time. But yeah, he's incredible. And what a great format for what is essentially an interview show, right? You're gonna have guests on, and you're just gonna have them in the gym. Totally different, super vulnerable, but you're gonna have them do their workout. You're gonna do their workout with it.
Like, and with Roxanne
Morgan had him do the butt workout, and Sheamus was like crying.
Did numbers on social.
But it was Finn Balor's off balance barbell stuff. That was crazy.
Yeah,
I tried that at the gym immediately afterward, and was like, I could see how this would work. Ain't no way I'm doing this.
And he would check this out. He was doing a lot of ab workouts with Roxanne Perez, and just aesthetically,
I had to get to see that one yet. Yeah.
Sheamus is gonna, he's gonna kill this. It's gonna be seamless. And the workouts that the Prodigy was running him through, you would have thought Sheamus would. I mean, he was barely surviving. He was like, and Roxanne was asking, "Are you okay?" And she was like, He was just really, I wish I could remember a quote that he said, but he was struggling through it. So to me, that not only humanized the Celtic Warrior, but during this particular episode that I'm referencing with Roxanne Perez, there was a picture shown of when a young Roxanne met Sheamus. So Roxanne Perez must have been 8 or 9 years old.
So like
glasses,
3 years ago.
Pink shirt. Yeah, right. Yeah. And Sheamus was one of the top stars of the company. So thinking back once again to the span of his career, it's that was the actual number, probably 15 years ago, let's say.
Yeah, sure.
And Sheamus is still doing awesome work and is still really popular amongst the fan base in a different way. Just makes me really happy for him. And it's just cool to see people who are not only good at what they do, but are also viewed as solid individuals who others can look at for guidance and leadership. And by everything we see across the locker room, Sheamus certainly fits that description.
Well, Tyler, I was able to catch it. I was not able to catch it live, but I did get to watch Saturday night's main event. Turned into Sunday morning's main event for me. But I got a very simple, straightforward question because I watched the Goldberg Gunther match.
You did? Okay, I didn't know if you would.
Okay.
I didn't ask you because I wanted to wait.
Well, I needed to. I was like, we're really doing this, but it was like, you know what? It's the last time I'm going to get to see him walk through that fire curtain like that, come out with the security, like the walk to the chants, the walk to the ring. It was really about the entrance for me that made me go, yeah, I do. I definitely need to see this one more time. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad he was able to, on an enormous human being still pull off a jackhammer. That was so cool.
I was concerned. I was concerned.
Me too. And I thought they sold it right, like with the bad knee and like, oh, I can't make the cover and the ref is down because Charles Robinson has been taking L's left and right. Like
Charles Robinson. We saw him in Tucson.
Got taken out twice. Yes,
we saw him in Tucson for the house show. He was helping the crew tear down the ring. And speaking of gems, who we don't speak about enough, Charles Robinson, again, another future first ballot. Yeah, he ate that spear. I saw that.
He sure did. He sold the crap out of it, but also I don't know if he sold all that. It's kind of like when Stone Cold was punching Kevin Owens, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I haven't done this in a while," and he's like, I just stiffed the crap out of him. He's like, I'm expecting a receipt. And Kevin Owens is like, are you kidding me? I'm getting punched by Stone Cold. Like, I kind of feel like I don't know if Goldberg would be able to hold off on a spear at this point. It's probably like, it's happening. Like whatever happens is happening, and that's all you're getting. And I thought that was great. But Tyler, I had this thought because I was like, they got me invested in it. And I didn't think I was going to care.
That's a win.
Was this Goldberg's best match
of the last
ever?
Ever.
You can go back to the early ones, and they're really bad. They're really bad.
Sure.
Like his title run was terrible in terms of matches because they were all 13 seconds long,
right?
Or they involved cattle prods,
right?
Because the only other one I could think off the top of my head was him and Brock.
Sure.
When they both quit.
Sure, with Stone Cold being the guest ref at WrestleMania, right? I'm not ready to say his best match, although to your point, I think this was best case scenario of what Goldberg Gunther was going to be. The right person won. I was concerned throughout the day that Gunther was not going to leave Atlanta,
which is
with
why
that
I was
title.
Like,
I don't know if the Seth Rollins injury factored into how this went down. There it seems like a lot of the IWC was speculating that Seth could cash in, likely on Goldberg, so Gunther loses the title but doesn't have to get pinned. And I just didn't necessarily want any of that. To answer your question, my favorite Goldberg match is probably still versus Hogan in the Dome in Atlanta in front of tens of thousands of people. I don't remember.
Oh, it's my favorite match.
But is it best?
It's not his best match. So like that was his second match of the night, remember?
Who did he face in the beginning?
He had to fight Scott Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to get past Hall to get to Hogan.
Yeah, what are the top 5?
That's what I'm saying.
Matches?
I have nothing.
Jericho?
Like, he's got great moments.
Yes.
But the matches streak. But yeah, the Jericho match was about Jericho getting murdered, not about Jericho having a good match.
Right.
Like he doesn't have long matches. All of his longer matches that are because they somehow get him outside the ring and hurt him, knock the ref out.
Right.
So there's a lot of downtime and chasing and stuff like that. And a lot of that happened in here, but it all felt for the first time, maybe ever, really purposeful. And no, I mean it. Like,
I got you.
This time I actually bought it. Like he is an older guy. He's talking about his last match. His knee is probably destroyed. So I was able to buy into this story.
And there was that uncertainty, correct me if I'm wrong, there was that uncertainty that it wasn't a foregone conclusion Gunther was going to win. I gave it a 10% chance that Goldberg was going to leave Atlanta with that title. I honestly wasn't sure.
On the way into it, I was like, there's no chance he's winning. And they got me into the match where I was like, oh, I kind of feels like he earned this. And then I could see Seth cashing in. Yeah, maybe that changed into
or Braun Breaker, or
Braun Breaker,
if Seth gives it to. I really thought, and then I thought, okay, well, Braun Breaker kind of being, some people compare him to Goldberg. Maybe they're going to do that. That I will admit that contributed to my enjoyment of the match, watching it live.
Yeah, it was fun.
Is that I thought I did not want Goldberg to win. Let me make that clear. But I thought, okay, it's WWE, it's Atlanta. Who knows what they're going to do? We've seen stranger things happen. I'm not ready to say it was his best, but I will once again state with my chest.
You don't know which one it is, though.
With my chest. I don't know what it is. I know it's not this one. But I will state fully with my chest that this ended up better than I expected. I am willing to say that for sure.
I will definitely go with that too, because I couldn't decide. The reason I say, like, I think this might have been his best match is because I have no other alternatives for you. Like, I don't have alternatives. He has way better moments, obviously. That him winning, him beating Hogan in that match was one of the greatest moments as a kid watching professional wrestling. I was screaming at my neighbor's house watching it live.
Tens of thousands of people in the Dome in Atlanta.
It was amazing. It was incredible.
A vibe. Yep.
But it was like 4 or 5 moves, you know? Like it wasn't really anything.
And Hollywood Hogan was such an uber heel at that time that for kids like you and I, that's what it was like. I forget what month it occurred, but it was Christmas. I mean, it was a euphoric experience.
It was in the summer. I have to look. It was a Bash. I don't know. It wasn't Bash. It was on Nitro.
I think it was Nitro. Yeah. That was in hindsight. That was a criticism. Was okay. You gave this on television, but this for sure could have sold a lot of pay-per-views.
It's bugging the heck out of me. So I'm not sure that I can say that it was his best match, but it's the only one I can think of right now. It was July 6th, 1998. So we recently, just passed an anniversary since that happened. July 6th, 1998. Goldberg defeated Hulk Hogan, and I'm pretty sure it was either that night or the night. I swear it was that night he had to get past Scott Hall to get to Hogan, but maybe I'm wrong. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to move on because we just gave Sheamus his flowers. We gave Goldberg his flowers, but now Tyler's got some flowers for us. We are so back. It's time for a rose from Tyler. Pardise premieres. Let's play the music.
And now for a rose from GI's most eligible bachelor.
We really are back. Okay, Brad, season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise kicked off last week. This is a totally new show format. You and I have spoken on multiple occasions on air about the need for Batch to redesign, really from the ground up in many ways. Now, the proposal part of the regular Batch series is still a thing, but in terms of Bachelor in Paradise, this really marks the first time we've seen a true aesthetic change. So the new show format, it kind of gives like a Hulu Netflix aesthetic versus previous iterations of Bachelor in Paradise, where it would set on a beach in Mexico. There's no AC, and relationships are formed and drama happens. This new show format takes place at a Costa Rican hotel.
Wow.
And it just, you have to check it out or not. That's what I'm here for. But even the presentation of it just gives Netflix dating show versus the traditional ABC format. Something that was actually surprising and a bit disappointing for me for this 3-hour. Again, why is the episode 3 hours? I hope that's not what we get this week. We shall see. I was disappointed because this is the first season that we were promised to get a mix between the Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants paired with the Golden Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants. There's going to be some cross-pollination. Now, mind you, they're not going to be romantically interested in each other, but they're going to see each other and interact. We did not get any of the Goldens on the season premiere, sadly, but I am hopeful it does. I'm hopeful that as soon as this week, we'll start to get that integration. Again, I mentioned there's no more island, so aesthetically very different. They're at a hotel with air conditioning and the ability to sort of move around. Whereas on the island, a lot of the appeal, not island, but that beach in Mexico, a lot of the appeal was that you're in this confined space. And that's really how reality TV has thrived over the past couple of decades, is you put people in a confined space and madness typically ensues. So I'm eager to see how that pays off for audiences in terms of what this is going to lead to, in terms of that drama that we look for. That being said, Brad Winchester, my rose this week goes to Dale. I don't know if this name sounds familiar.
It does. It's my dad's name.
Oh, hey, shout out. So
my middle name.
Dale, oh my gosh. Yeah, your middle name does start with a D. Okay, this is a great moment. My rose goes to Dale because he was the guy from Claire season years ago. This was actually my first kind of dipping my toes into the Batch waters. You may remember Claire season. It was during the pandemic. It was set at this hotel in California. And it's the quickest season in Batch history because from night one, it was clear that Dale was going to be Claire's choice. So she ended up telling the guys, hey, I found my person already. You schmucks can go home and see you never again. So Dale has a pretty infamous spot in Batch lore. Granted, it did not end up working out with Claire and Dale. Dale proposed to her. we wrapped it up and they found a new lead. It was a very odd season looking back on it just a few years ago. Now, fast forward, Dale is single. He is on the season of Paradise. And when I tell you, Brad, the women and the men melted when they met him. Dale, it's kind of like a Royal Rumble vibe. Dale was a surprise entrant into the season premiere. 6'4", 6'5", light skin dude, good job, good skin. And the women just melted. Some of them even kind of forgot how to talk when they were having, I kid you not. This is Alex from Canada. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Alex from Canada just melted and admittedly forgot her words during her one-on-one conversation with Dale. The men view him as an instant threat. They don't want any part of being in a love triangle with him, which I don't blame them at all. So Dale is definitely the biggest winner from episode 1. Again, he gets my rose. Eager to see what becomes of his journey on Paradise. I will keep you posted. I am hoping that we shave down the time to at most 2 hours moving forward. We will see what happens. If you also tuned in, let us know your reaction to the Bachelor in Paradise premiere here on YouTube. Leave us a comment. Again, you can find us on social at GIPod19. Let us know what you think. I'll be back next week to break down episode 2.
Well, that's exciting. Okay, Dale, got it.
Dale's just got they got motion.
Apparently.
Yeah.
My dad also very light-skinned.
Is he also 6'4", 6'5"?
He has some of those numbers.
Okay.
Not in that order.
I'm telling you, man, Dale.
The 5 and the 6, maybe 5'6", but yeah.
Dale's killing it. This is a pretty fun cast. I mentioned Alex, Lexi popped up. Stay tuned. I'm hopeful. I'm locked in.
Tyler, speaking of locked in, is Marina Shafir still handcuffed? I don't know. Let's talk All In. I haven't even gotten your thoughts on this. I don't know how you thought about this, Pape. I haven't told you my thoughts about it. We are going into this super fresh. We didn't even talk about how we wanted to do this. How do you want to do this? I don't know. This is totally organic. I was like, wait a second.
This is totally organic.
So we're gonna go
for sure. I want to start with my question, which
I do have a question.
Okay. Okay, and I think this will be a fair introduction to AEW All In. Here we go, Brad. The production, the matches. Mm-hmm. The moments. What did you make of the first All In on American soil?
I thought it was really great. I was not in love with the audio. I thought they did a really bad job of mixing arena audio with audio going into the truck. So everything had that arena echo to it, that stadium echo to it. And I hated that because it made it hard to understand what people were saying. It made the music sound kind of murky, and it was cool that it made it feel like this live, feel like you're kind of there, but I also want to understand what's happening. So balance those things out a little better, and I'll be happier next time. I don't recall if that was a problem for Wembley, and my guess is there's less of that feedback because it's an open topped bowl and not an enclosed space. Because I thought, for example, when the Hurt Syndicate came out, it was hard to understand MVP because it was so echoey, and I was like, he's out there crushing it right now, and we can't hear this man. Like, you guys are getting this live performance. I thought all of that was really cool. It was really great. I know I tweeted this out or exited it out, whatever we're calling it over there. Elon'd it out. Really cool to see JoJo. Really, really cool to see JoJo. Yes. And people were like, why is this woman coming out here to sing? What's this person's connection at all to this man? And I'm like, you guys, you don't know who that is, huh? Okay. That made me mad. But, well, in general, social media makes me mad. So that made me upset. I thought it was super cool that she got to come out and do that. And I loved the pageantry. I love that they treated this like AEW's Mania, right? Like, we're going to do the big special over the top stuff.
It was given that.
And I was like, this is awesome. Was it all the way to that level? No. Was it really good? Yeah, this was great. I like that they do the Wembley show, and I like that they go across the pond for things or go out of the country for things. I like that. I think that's cool. But it kind of says, like, hey, we can do this in the States and still fill up a pretty good sized arena. Like 20,000 people is not a small amount of people. So
I think there were even talks that they were approaching 30,000
Yeah.
when it was all said and done. They surpassed
Yeah.
25
Yeah. I
even.
knew they
So
were past
they
25 or 2024 something was like the day before. And I
right.
was like, they're gonna get more.
They
So I
really
thought that
stuck the
was really
landing
cool.
on it. Yeah. Big win financially.
Yes, but I thought the production, I thought the ring gear was great. I'm really bummed for a variety of reasons about some of the ring gear, and we'll get into it later. But it's none that we saw; it's the ones that we didn't. But I thought this was great. I thought they did a great job. I thought production was great. I thought all the elements came together for me, and not all of the matches on the card were matches that I left with going like that's an all timer. But I can't sit here and say there was a single bad match on the card. It was all entertaining. It was all really big. It all felt important. I would not trade our double or nothing experience for this one, but just because Anarchy was so out of bounds, that I just that lives in my head forever. That's going to be in there as like get past this.
That was
Try.
a fun night. Yes.
Yeah, so much fun. But yeah, I thought it was incredible. I think that if they keep going down this road, they're going to do really special things in the future. And their roster, especially the women, their roster is in really good shape for a long time.
It is. It is. And moving forward, now that we're in the era of Hangman, Adam Page, second world title reign is just kicking off.
So good.
Timeless Toni Storm being cemented. First of all, being the first person to pin Mercedes Moné in AEW, and really big time, and being cemented as we know she came from WWE, but obviously this timeless character was birthed in AEW. She just feels like such I want to use a word other than pillar, but such a face of AEW, and AEW done right in terms of the character, in terms of the spectacle, in terms of the uniqueness. To your point, Brad, about WrestleMania, I think what's really great about All In and evidenced by All In Texas is that it gives that WrestleMania, or at least WrestleMania of yesteryear, that feeling of this is the conclusion of much of what we've seen over the last year from a storyline perspective. And then moving forward, a new era, a new chapter is starting. It feels and it felt this weekend like a momentous event, and AEW needed that. And by and large, I think the right wrestlers won. The fate of gimmick infringement was on the line
Yes,
during
it
this
was.
Texas death match.
Yeah, it could have been GI death.
Yeah, really. I mean,
yeah.
we won't go over it again. But the right decision was made to have Hangman win. Of course, you got Bryan Danielson, you got Darby Allin. Unfortunately, we didn't see the likes of Sting, Keith Lee, Britt Baker, so on and so forth. But I completely co-sign what you mentioned about the women's division. I'm glad their Casino Gauntlet got time, and I'm really eager now into this new chapter of AEW storylines to see if they sort of promote or uplift those talents on the roster who have been waiting for these opportunities. So we can just name some people. Kyle Fletcher, super sad and concerned about Adam Cole. It really seems so mysterious. The most recent I saw, Brad, from Fightful Select is that Adam Cole was dealing with a lingering concussion issue. So again, similar to what we said about Seth Rollins, sending our best to Adam Cole and all those in his life. That moment was really, it was profound and also just stuck with me because I had a hard time. I had a hard time getting into the TNT 4-way after Adam Cole cut the promo that he did.
Yeah.
But that being said, I have no doubt Kyle Fletcher is going to be the one to defeat or dethrone Dustin Rhodes for that TNT title. So
yeah, and it's an easy in for that.
Easy, easy. And Dustin Rhodes got his moment, kind of picked the vibes back up, not only in Globe Life, but at least for me in Glendale, like, okay, I can get back into this.
Yep.
But Kyle Fletcher, Queen Aminata, who's just over everywhere. We've seen it happen live. We see it on TV.
It's time to push her to the moon.
Yeah.
It's time.
Willow Nightingale. On the men's side, you have, I'm trying to think of someone else who's next up. Because they've been relying on a lot of the same, kind of veterans for a while. But my point is, they really stuck the landing on the show. Right decisions were made. Swerve and Ospreay were great.
You even coming back was really, that was a big
Juice.
pop.
Yeah.
And we got to see the guns. The guns ran out.
Yeah, exactly.
That
So
made me
that's
happy.
setting up.
That was a team I totally forgot about. We were talking about the tags.
Yes, and
Oh,
that's setting up
oh
now a
man.
trios feud between
Yep.
them and Ricochet and Gates of
Yep.
Agony. So a lot of promise here.
Mhm.
You also got an updated Will Ospreay Assassin's Creed entrance.
Yes, it did.
I love that for you. You mentioned the Swerve entrance. There was so much to like about this show, and nobody does pay-per-views like AEW. I mean, they've really planted their flag on, hey, we know
Yeah.
that we're behind this pay-per-view paywall still, but we're going to give you your money's worth. They did it again for All In Texas, and I'm really excited about Dynamite and Collision and the possibilities that are ahead. Of course, we're going to get Edge and Christian reuniting. Go find yourself was a really great line. I enjoyed Cope returning and delivering that. The
That was
aura,
awesome.
I actually now officially learned what this means, Brad. The aura farming that Cope did during his entrance. Like his
Oh
guy
my
Christian
gosh.
is getting beat up, but
Yeah.
Cope just does the full
Run
Cope
out and be
entrance.
like, come on, yeah, give
And
it.
the pyro budget
Yeah.
was bananas for the show.
Yeah.
Um,
It's giving me Penta saving Cena.
very much
Like,
so.
I'm
Very,
going to save you. I really kind of hate you, but I'm going to save you anyway. And that's very much what this one felt like. So
yeah,
funny.
yeah. And what I want
All
to
started by Jeff Hardy. Full circle moment for us
exactly
of this
what
episode.
I want to conclude with in my comments here. Athena getting the gauntlet. That was okay. Okay, two things. Focusing on the women here. Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm, the people's main event. One may say
Best match probably on the card.
fantastic.
I mean, the main event was incredible, but
I mean, it had to. Yeah, it had to, given
yeah,
the moment of Hangman taking, opening the briefcase and taking
right.
out the belt.
But
But
from a wrestling match, that's the one.
my goodness, absolutely. There's an alternate universe in which this would be the main event, and I would enjoy the pay-per-view just as much.
Yep.
Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm, phenomenal. And then for the women's gauntlet, for my prediction to come true, and for Athena to win in her home state, I love that. I hope this means Athena is going to be an AEW champion sooner than later. So did the crowd.
People were going crazy. That was the best part, man.
Yeah,
Alex
yeah.
Windsor, Shuri, like there's and I said like maybe we get Alex Windsor, and I've been excited to see this because I don't know if you've seen her outside of AEW.
No, I'm not familiar with her at all prior to
but like watching them, like they were in there Alex Windsor was in there throwing haymakers. Like
she was.
I can't wait. This division is stacked. We're gonna get some incredible wrestling. The vibe, Tyler, back to the production part of it.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It feels so much like a perfect synthesis, a perfect hybrid between what New Japan does and what WWE does to kind of create this more grounded, gritty, but still pageantry that's over the top. And I don't know how else to describe it. It doesn't seem like as sanitized and polished and clean as what the WWE does, because they have an incredibly high production value and it's beautiful, but it's also like standardized. And I don't know how else to say that because it's the easiest way I could say it. Now, that being said, I love me some Mikey Ruckus, but the girls, they're all their themes are giving me Def Rebel. Like they're all kind of Willow's got a banger.
Oh my
and
gosh.
then
she has everything. I got the figure now too in stores.
I saw that. I was like, oh man, I'm jealous.
Man. I've cut back my figure purchasing 100%, but Willow.
Well,
how can you say
apparently.
No? The entrance, it's incredible. She has everything.
Willow's is great, and there's a bunch that are really good, but there's a whole bunch of them in there where like when the songs start playing and you don't know who's coming out, that's a problem. And then like there were 3 or 4 people the songs played, and it wasn't until their name came up that people went, oh, okay, that's who's here.
Yeah, like Ty Mello.
Exactly who I was thinking of.
What do you think of Tekla's presentation thus far? Toxic Spider.
Tekla's is pretty good. The music is very much her. I don't hate it, but like wrestling music has to have that Pavlovian response to it, right? It can't just be the song starts. It can't be. You got to have that thing in it. It's the glass break. It's EO's siren. It's a siren. If you want to go Jordan Grace or Braun Breaker, it's just the it's Adam Copeland. It's all of these different things that give you a hey, this is starting. Cody Rhodes, even it's like it's not even him talking. In an AEW, it was just the song, but it's the just to let people know that he's here. He's knocking on the door, right? Like that's so. I wish they had something to get people into it. I don't hate it by any stretch, but I want those girls to get the pop they deserve when they come out. And I don't know how to fix that part because the music's not bad. It's just not working. And I don't know how else to describe it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really
yeah.
I'm really optimistic, as evidenced by that last thing I want to say about that women's casino gauntlet, that we are going to have the long awaited, highly anticipated women's tag title introduction.
Kind of inevitable now.
You have to. What are we waiting for? This gauntlet was such evidence that you have an incredible roster, and I just want to see more women on AEW television, and I want to see over the next year, whoever our new champions are going to be. I want to see people move up on the roster. Kyle Fletcher, Queen Aminata. We mentioned additional names. Obviously, Megan Bain could be ready to become world champion any day.
Yeah.
I really want to see over the next year some of that movement and some of that upward trajectory for members of the roster who have been ready, but just haven't necessarily been penciled into those spots yet. Yeah, the future's really bright, man. I think AEW has gotten back a lot of goodwill with the audience. And this show, it really furthered that. And I'm excited to see how the storylines progress, starting with Hangman Page on Dynamite this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So on that note, coming out of All In, who do you think the biggest winner was?
Sheesh.
That one was a tough one for me because there's like this one had like lots of matches with stakes, big stakes.
It did.
And now coming out of it, it's like, oh, well, we got new champions. Tony retained.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Tag titles are still on the Syndicate. As
MJF is number one contender, which was expected, but
sure.
He's been in this strange place, Brad, of he's a part of the Hurt Syndicate, given Owen Hart vibes. But what is the plan for him? Okay, now he's the number one contender, so we know the path is he's going to be in that world title picture, as soon as this week, if not later on in the year. So he's definitely a winner for me because I thought he was maybe even borderline directionless for a little bit. But my biggest winner has got to be, it's really a toss-up between Toni Storm and Hangman Page for me. Big nod to Prince Nana as well. He always maximizes his minutes. But those two are, without a doubt, the champions in AEW right now. Toni Storm with this timeless character makeover. It's just put her on a completely different level. And then Hangman Page, the last shot of this show, as we anticipated, being him opening the briefcase, holding up the title, being cheered by thousands of people in that ballpark, millions of people across the world, for him to climb back to this moment. I really think all signs point to this title reign being even better than that first title reign, back in 2022. And we were very, very fond of that title reign. I think now with the character development, him being cemented, MJF would disagree about this, but Hangman Page being cemented as the main character in AEW with a company full of various characters and abilities, him unquestionably being the main character, the person who kind of threads the needle between the beginning of AEW to where we're at now with all the roster turnover. Toni Storm's a huge winner. If I have to pick one, I got to go with Hangman Page being the biggest. What say you?
It's tough because, I think you're right. I really don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know what happens going forward with Hangman. Swerve, the Hangman Swerve story coming to that full circle moment was really great.
Yes.
I didn't catch until somebody put it out online that when Swerve was destroying the Bucks limo, and he did his little speech and his quote, that he was directly quoting Hangman when he was putting gas all over the house. It's a direct quote.
I didn't catch that either.
Yeah. It was a total
I'm not surprised.
callback. So when it was a total callback to that moment. He's like, but if somebody reminded me, and then he said whatever he said, he smiled, and then he wrecked the card. He was quoting Hanger. Like, all of that was a direct callback from Hangman to try to,
that's special.
I guess, build that bridge. It was so good.
How could you not love wrestling?
Incredible
this is
storytelling, man.
This is what we invested. Right
the thing AEW is criticized for not having. So I get everything going into this show felt like it had a story built around it, or the story was they're going to be number one contender. Like, the gauntlet match had stories within it for both the men and the women. Mm-hmm. The women, so the men's match, I thought Juice Robinson coming out of this, big winner, because he was obviously super popular, but having him come back out there and the crowd go that crazy because he was back, super cool, fun surprise, excited he's healthy. We know his wife is in the company, so with one Toni Storm, so that's really cool for them. Great to see him back. Great to see the Guns. They grew on me so much. I really like them now. They're just really entertaining, and out of that, the Bowens Caster moment was great. I love so much that Max came out, did the whole thing, and never made it into the ring. Like he didn't even get.
That's true, huh?
He got wiped out before stepping a foot into the ring. I thought that was so funny.
Wow.
It's such a great thing. Like
I need Anthony. This is someone I forgot to mention. Anthony Bowens being a talent that has upward mobility.
Yeah.
He's also someone who I see him every time, particularly in this gauntlet, Brad. And I'm thinking, okay, I need a Bowens versus Ricochet feud. I could see Bowens in there with MJF. I mean, if we can really figure out this 5-tool player character, are they a face? Are they a heel? Do we need Billy Gunn as a manager? Respectfully, he's also someone who I'm just continually impressed by. He was great. Takeshita could be world champ.
To do it now. I mean, Fletcher could be
next year
too.
at the latest.
Like,
they're great.
The Bowens problem is that he's beautiful and he's acting. Like he's going to get cast in other things if he's any kind of good on screen with actual learning and of dialogue and committing to the scenes. Then people are going to have a problem keeping him in the ring because he has a great look and like he's charismatic. Selfishly, I want to see him have that just in AEW because even though the Acclaimed aren't a thing anymore, I feel like that eventual reunion that's going to hit so different.
That's going to be tough. Yeah, that's going to go hard
when the music starts.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen at some point. I think even maybe this is just me, Brad, seeing their interaction. I thought, is it too soon to reunite these guys? Because the Platinum Max Best Wrestler Alive is funny, but I think sooner than later it's going to run its course.
Okay, so you're painting this picture here, and this is a total aside here, but okay, Max can't win Best Wrestler Alive. He can't win without help, right? Bowens keeps taking L's. He's not listening to Billy. He can't win without the help. Maybe that's the way. Like, hey, we were better together. Let's do this again, and we get that back. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I still want to give. I still want to give
Bowens.
Yeah, I still want to give this. Yeah. I could see Bowens versus Fletcher for the TNT title being a really great program.
Just have them do the winter. Both. It's not a big deal to have them do. Yeah,
but over the next year, I think it's really imperative that AEW really invest in getting some new faces in the title picture, not just in the title picture, but actually becoming champ. I think we could see that again as soon as Wednesday or Saturday with Kyle Fletcher potentially dethroning Dustin Rhodes. But from there, again, Bowens, you and I are card carrying members of the Queen Aminata agenda. Like these people are just undeniable. And I think over the next year, how do we build even more goodwill with the audience? I think it will be making some of those, strategic decisions to uplift talent.
Is Jamie Hayter injured?
Yes.
I was going to say she has to hurt, right? Like I didn't.
Yeah. The original plan was Hayter versus Tekla, but then they pivoted smartly to Aminata versus Tekla. But yeah, Jamie Hayter unfortunately is injured at the moment.
Man, that sucks.
It does.
To that point, Adam Cole becoming hurt. It was supposed to be Adam Cole, Kyle Fletcher, and they turned it into a vacated 4-way match, pivoted on the winner. It'd be a pretty easy thing this Wednesday for Kyle Fletcher, Don Callis, to come out and say, Kyle Fletcher won that match. He's the number one contender for the TNT title. You put it in a 4-way. He should still be the number one contender, and he wants his match right now. Then you get Fletcher versus Rhodes the following week or whatever, and then
at the latest, Brad. At the latest. We're not going into August without Kyle Fletcher being TNT champ.
But but they could put it like there's probably another event coming up somewhere in here on TV that they could do it, like a Battle of the Belts or something like that. I'm sure there's something where
you mean a title can change hands at Battle of the Belts. That would be
an AEW
revolutionary,
an AEW one specifically. But I could see them doing like Sammy and Dustin versus Kyle and Takeshita until that point, or Kyle and Josh Alexander or whatever, the Sons of Texas versus So I could see that happening between now and then finally having that match and Fletcher beating Dustin Rhodes, which whatever. I'm just thankful that he has a singles championship before he wraps it all up. I think that's really cool. It's not a world title, but it's really cool that Dustin Rhodes is holding gold probably for the last time as a singles competitor. And it's just Tony Khan has knocked it out of the park when it comes to respecting legends.
Yes.
And
yes.
I truly feel that way. Maybe not Ric Flair, but that one's earned. But yeah, it is really good.
Well, Brett, that's the aspect of this for, casual wrestling fans or those who are maybe lapsed or don't watch. I think that's the part that maybe feels mysterious to them is, okay, in this predetermined sport, why does winning a belt how can that lead to a reaction like Dustin Rhodes had in the ring in his home state? For you and I, and I think for a lot of our audience members who do watch wrestling, you sort of understand that is really the beauty of all of this is when, in Dustin Rhodes' case, you spend 3 decades in the industry. You have a wrestling lineage that you've upheld. And like you said, Brad, this is not the world title. This is maybe the 3rd or 4th most important men's title in AEW.
Yeah. Now that there's a unified one, it's the 3rd.
At best.
Yeah.
And for him to get that victory and for him to openly sob in the ring, like I get chills thinking about it.
I was just looking.
That's what we tune in for.
I think they might have said it on commentary. I can't remember. But it's been 23 years. It's his first singles title since 2002.
Wow.
23 years to go without a singles title is crazy.
Yeah.
And for him to get that, what a moment.
Yeah.
What 2002, Tyler, that's nuts. He was still working there. He had TNA. He had
and he's a tag champ in ROH. He's a trios champ currently in ROH. It's just there. And that kind of goes to my thought about, okay, you have a lot of titles, you have a lot of talent. I think even the days of us having 2-belt or 3-belt champions within the AEW and ROH ecosystem, I think those days are probably gone in the near future because you just have so much talent. And again, I think whether I'm going to even mention hologram, right? My hologram agenda, hologram and Kazuchika Okada are the only undefeated people in this company. I need hologram to have a title sooner than later. It could be ROH, maybe it's an AEW, but I think over the next year.
Hopefully he beats Okada.
Hopefully, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
He maybe not yet, but the talent, the roster, it's really incredible right now. And when Tony Khan says in the scrum, 2025, and of course he's going to say this, right? But 2025, in his opinion, has been the best in AEW history. The TV's been better than ever. The this, that, and the other. I think there's a lot of merit to what he's saying. And now that you've gotten a lot of this goodwill back because you're giving the women more time, because you finally took the belt off Jon Moxley, and we love Jon Moxley here, but the Death Riders angle has not been working since October or November of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that he continues to make, and the powers that be continue to make the decisions that will not only get that buyback from fans, but hopefully also bring in some new fans, because AEW is certainly an alternative. And, you and I have seen it live. We've seen it on TV. I'm really happy that we're living in a time where AEW exists, and by all accounts is really thriving right now. And in case I didn't mention, I got my Willow Nightingale figure, so that also makes me very, very happy.
I was wearing my Willow tee yesterday, and Freya came in to watch parts of it. She popped in for a few moments, and she stayed for the whole Texas death match because she walked in and was like, "That's a lot of blood," and sat down.
That was a little bit, but that was a little bit too much for me. That was a little.
It was a lot. It was a lot. At the end, she saw Mox laying on the mat after Hangman earned his name.
What did she say?
Mox in the ground. She was like, "That looked like a puddle." It was a puddle of his own blood. You're right.
What did the kid say behind us at Double or Nothing? He said, "Dad, he's leaking."
Yeah, that's right.
Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet in the stretcher match. Yeah. This is just such a cool sport. I'm grateful that it exists.
But there was definitely things going on in there where it was, I don't know. She kept catching stuff that made me laugh, but made me go like, "Oh yeah, this is really good," because she was invested in it, going like, "Who's this person?" But she saw my shirt and was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "It's her right there. You see her? She just did the best. Everybody's doing this move right now. They're all doing it. And she did the best one by far. And it wasn't even close." And then the Athena bump. Whew. I when she came up and went like that, I thought I was like, that might not be acting. That might have been just her broken neck.
That might be
absolutely.
Yeah, and if I can just conclude with this, Brad,
sure.
This weekend, WWE and AEW, Adam Cole, Seth Rollins, you mentioned Jamie Hayter.
Mm-hmm.
It was another reminder that we have these really high highs across wrestling. But then you remember, what even happened to Chris Bay right? Like these performers,
Right.
we buy their tees, we
Big
buy
E.
we buy the tickets. Yes, it's another reminder. This weekend was at least that these performers really put their lives on the line every single night, every single move. If something goes wrong, freak accident city, this could change their lives. So this weekend also gave me a deeper appreciation for, not only was AEW All In a really fun show, we're getting Evolution tonight, which is something you and I and many others have wanted. Granted, the build has been very frustrating that we haven't gotten more. There has been more of an investment, but it's happening tonight.
It's happening.
We've wanted it, and how cool is it that we're a part of this community that gets to kind of revel in this love that we have for all of it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not the biggest bump in the world. I vividly remember watching Ray Phoenix just go through a table and come up with his arm going the other direction because it dislocated at the elbow. And it's not even in that company anymore. Everything was kind of crazy. Probably missed something. So on that note, Tyler, what did we miss?
Yeah, we missed a few important stories here. So first, TNA Slammiversary is this Sunday. So much wrestling. This is a great time to be alive.
Okay.
I know. Yeah. I even had to double check my data. I was oh snap! Their WrestleMania, for all intents and purposes, is this weekend. So that's emanating from the UBS Arena in New York. It is headlined by a triple threat match for the TNA World Championship. It's going to be Joe Hendry versus Mike Santana versus the current champion Trick Williams. Mike Santana must leave his home state of New York with the title. Masha Slamovich will also be competing against the winner tonight of Jordan Grace versus JC Jane. So a champion versus champion match. I want to say it might be winner take all as well, if I'm not mistaken. You're also going to get Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander. The Hardys are in a 4-way tag team ladder match for the titles. Really fun card. TNA obviously has a lot of momentum these days. I saw Carlos Silva, the head person over there, went on the Ariel Helwani show to talk business and alluded to TNA maybe getting a TV deal within the next 60 to 90 days. Wow. So of course, we'll keep an eye on that.
Access?
I hope not. I would like
not.
to.
It was the worst.
And then what becomes of the TNA Plus app? Should that happen? I mean, obviously the pay-per-views would still be on there. I'm a TNA Plus member. I told you I forgot to cancel my subscription. I did the 3-month one at the end of last year. I forgot to cancel. Now I'm like the gold tier 12-month package. So, and I know it's
been there.
It's
My PlayStation Plus subscription renewed and I was like, well, there is $150.
And that's what they bet on. That's a part of the marketing is, okay, a Putz in Glendale is going to forget to cancel, and then we'll make our money back that way. But it feels good to support talent. And again, I think Slammiversary is going to be a really fun show. So let us know any predictions or hopes you have for that card. 2 final notes, Brad. The MLB Home Run Derby and All-Star Game are this week. This reminds me of my childhood so much. I want to give a shout to the Seattle Mariners catcher, Cal Raleigh. I saw him during spring training, and he is leading the majors in home runs right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think he's approaching 40 home runs already, just having a massive year. Apparently, he has some low-key beef with Aaron Judge, which I don't know how I feel about that, given my family's allegiance to the New York Yankees. But regardless, I'm looking out for him this week, and I will be tuning into some baseball. And then finally, want to give a promotion to a second episode we're dropping this week with 19 Media's own Desmond Powell, host of Hip to the Games, a name that may sound familiar to you. We are going to be discussing the WNBA, Drake's attempted comeback, and sneakers in 2025. Again, we're dropping an episode with Desmond Powell. It'll be here on the audio platform you're listening to, or here if you're watching us on YouTube. So big shout out to Des, and we're excited to bring him back this week. Well, we hope that you'll check out our conversation with Desmond Powell. Brad, what did we miss?
I only have a couple of things. One of the things that we missed, we saw Adam Cole's tearful, I don't want to call it a promo. It was more of a conversation with the crowd about the state of things. And it really felt like a goodbye. And that really sucked. Obviously, no matter what happens, he'll be in the wrestling business, I'm sure, at some way. And I'm sure TK will figure out a way to make sure he's a part of everything that they do, even if he's not in ring talent going forward. And I hope that's not the case. I hope he gets to do whatever he wants to do. But like he said, he's been able to live out his dream. But like Triple H said, most of us just don't get a choice in when we're going to end it. We just go until the wheels fall off. And that's what happened with him. He didn't get to have like a farewell tour and a final match. It was just like, nah, God had other plans and the plans were from my heart. So what are you going to do? But what we missed was his gear. He probably had some righteous video game gear ready to go. I want to know what it was. I really want to see it. Hopefully he's hanging on to it for his triumphant return. I just wanted to use it one more time before we wrap up. But we also had Shayna Baszler this week. We didn't get her debut in AEW, but word on the Fightful Select streets are that Shayna Baszler did some producing for NXT. So she is still overworking with WWE. It sounds like, I don't know if it's a contractual thing or if she's just there helping out as a tryout, but she was producing for NXT. So hopefully she's doing well and hopefully she's happy and healthy and all those things too.
Well said, my friend. Once again, you all can follow us at GIPod19 for exclusive show updates and more. We thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a great week, and we will see you next time. Gimmick Infringement is a part of 19 Media Group. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube via the 19 Media Group channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.